네, 안녕하십니까?
Good afternoon
네, good morning and good afternoon.
and good morning.
한국섬유산업연합회 주성호 팀장이라고 합니다.
My name is Song Ho-ju from Korea Federation of Textile Industries.
네, 국제 복합 소재
It is
전시회
very nice to meet all of you online and offline at the Composite Exchange at JEC Composites conferences.
오늘
Today's Composite Exchange is organized
참고로
online and offline simultaneously, and it will be hosted in Korean and English. Simultaneous interpretation and consecutive interpretation will be provided.
네, 오늘 기술 교류회는 한국
Today's Composite
산업기술
Exchange is
평가관료,
organized by Korea Evaluation Institute of Industrial Technology and the Korea Federation of Textile Industries, which oversees textile materials and parts projects.
기술 교류회는
We will first briefly hear about the textile material and part technology development project that is in progress with support from the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy. And we will get updates on three important projects: high-performance PET fibers, high-performance organic fiber, and biodegradable textile technology development. First, in order to support the currently ongoing material and part R&D projects,
저희 한국섬유산업연합회
Korea Federation of Textile Industries is collaborating with Korea Evaluation Institute of Industrial Technology so as to promote projects being developed to businesses and to manage their performances. Today's Composite Exchange is also held for this objective. Over 2020 and 2021, there are total 20 general projects, as you can see on the screen. So there were 10 in 2020 and 10 in 2021. And there are 42 detailed projects, 21 in 2020 and 21 in 2021. So due to time restraint, I cannot go over one by one. So today we will be hearing about the three projects: high-performance PET fiber, high-performance organic fiber, and biodegradable textile technology.
만약에 필요하신 경우
So if necessary, we have the COFOTI booth within JEC Korea. So I think you can visit the booths and see the technologies being developed and see also the leaflets.
네, 함한규 센터장님 발표 대단히 감사합니다.
Thank you, Mr. Han, for your presentation.
참고로 발표 내용에 대한
Please be informed that there will be a Q&A session after all the presentations are done.
자, 그럼 두 번째로
Next presentation will be made by Mr. Gil Woo-jeon, Senior Research at Korea Textile Development Institute, who is the supervisor for the project on the trend and application of high-performance organic fiber.
네, 안녕하세요.
Nice to meet you, everyone. I am Gil Woo-jeon, a senior researcher from the Korea Textile Development Institute, and
개발연구원에 근무하고 있다고.
I was introduced that I am working at the Korea Textile Development Institute, and I am
연구하시는 분야와 거의
actually
소이한데요.
studying much of the things that the previous presenter presented. But today I would like to talk about the high-performance organic fiber trends and their applications, which is
연구개발 동향이라는
the research and development trends of the high-performance organic fiber, and a couple of sample cases that we've worked on, and what and how these fibers will be used, and what are the promising sectors that these fibers can be used.
먼저 발표
So first, I would like to go through the content, which is the introduction to my organization.
라는 유기 섬유라는 말을 왜 붙였는지
and also go through the definition of organic fibers and also look into the properties as well as
섬유나
because
섬유와는 비교해서
compared to like other fibers, what kind of advantages the organic fibers have, and the current market trends, as well as applications and conclusions,
앞으로 우리가 어떤 분야를 좀 개척을 해야 되고
and where we should be pioneering and what kind of technologies we need further.
하겠습니다. 먼저 잘 아시는 분들도 많으시겠지만
So maybe you are aware that our institution is located in Daegu,
주로
and it is a non-profit organization, and we do R&D, we analyze tests,
재직자나
and also for teachers and students, we provide a lot of education and training.
주 업무는 당연히 연구 개발이 되겠고요.
And we mostly do R&D. And the history of our institution is we began as a center in 1996.
섬유개발연구원이라는 이름으로 바뀌면서
We received our new name, which is KTDI, in 1996. And since then, we've been engaged in doing research and development, and we've been supporting a lot of students and academia. So we provide training, education, and also we consult with companies about their issues and to provide solutions.
연구원 주요 활동 영역
And these are the main activities that we do.
저 같은 경우는 이제
In my case, I usually do textile materials and do the commercialization of products. And other than that, other teams in my institutions, they look into textile, fashion. They do a lot of R&D for those areas, and they support the businesses accordingly. And also for the defense industry, we also provide R&D for the defense industry's composite materials and textiles. And it's been it hasn't been that long that we have this team because we used to think that it was just another branch of textile industry. However, it does require a lot of specific things. That's why our institutions, we created a new sector to research and develop that certain defense and public sector.
유럽이라든지 일본 같은 이제 해외 연구기관들
So together with research institutions from the European countries and Japan, we also do a lot of cooperation. And I've also mentioned earlier that why are we talking about organic fiber? What is organic fiber? Probably you all know that because we're right now at a technical conference. We are talking about composite materials, and you are also working in those relevant fields. So when we say composite materials or reinforced materials, we're talking about carbon fiber or more specifically basalt fiber, inorganic fiber. But other than that, those of you who are much more familiar with the fiber industry, then you've heard a lot more than that. So unlike inorganic fiber, organic fiber, the presenter before me also said that the structure is very important, whether it's carbon or oxygen, hydrogen. At least two has to be integrated. That should be the chemical structure. And also, it should be strong in terms of collision or any shock, and it needs to be able to absorb shock. It needs to be able to provide protection. For instance, for bulletproof items, that's why a lot apply to the bulletproof items. So when we talk about high performance organic fibers, I've showed you a table, and you can see in the blue part that so we have the conventional polymer fibers like nylon, PE, polyesters. So we call these the conventional polymer fibers. So we wear our clothes and they have the strength that is good enough for us to wear. However, it's not at an industrial grade. So that's why when we say high performance organic fiber, it refers to the red box here. You can see that it's stronger and it's more durable. So when we say it's high performance organic fiber, you know Para-Upbeat. So you probably see this brand name. And also there's the liquid polyester LCP fiber. It's not something that we can see very frequently, but because it's normally monopolized by Japanese companies. And then we have the PPS fiber, and also we have the polyethylene fiber. So we have 4 types of organic fiber that are mostly used. So when we look at documents and references from overseas, then it is the so-called high-performance organic fiber category. But in Korea, we call them as the super fibers instead of high-performance fibers. So I think there's a slight difference in terms of defining these fibers. So the tensile strength is more than 2 gigapascal. So when we focus on the fiber itself, then we can see that the tensile strength should be more than 20 gram, or the elastic modulus should be more than 500 gram, or the thermal resistance should be the temperature should be more than 28. So it should be able to survive at a long time at a temperature of 300 degrees Celsius. And to be more specific, you can see in this below table, it says high strength elasticity and resistance. So if they meet one of those requirements, then they are the so-called super fiber. So because it's highly fire resistant, flame resistant, so even if it's the same aramide, but the chemical structure is slightly different. So there's an aramide called meta-aramide. The strength is the same as almost the same as polyester. However, it is a super fiber because it's flame resistant. And Dr. Ham also mentioned about these structures earlier in his presentation. In Korea, and also at our institution, we work with these chemical structures of the high-performance organic fibers. You can see below here, you can see the product names. These are the names of those products. Xylon is a PB, and Kevlar and Twaron is para-aramide, and Techno is similar to the Kevlar and Twaron. However, in between, they have some slightly different structures. So has slightly different characteristics. And then there's the Vectran in the LCP fiber and the Dyneema. So when we exclude Dyneema, all of those fibers look strong, right? They look very strong. And because of these structures, they tend to be strong, and they are flame resistant, heat resistant. So as we can see that when these types of structures are close to flame, then they won't be able to survive. If it looks like that, the structure, then they are weak. They cannot be exposed to sunlight for a long time, and the tensile strength will be weakened. And in order to overcome these issues, a lot of researches are being done at the academia level. So there are a lot of researches being done in order to protect these structures from sunlight. And for Dyneema, it has high density and it has high tensile strength. But even if we look at this chemical structure, it looks weak because it is actually weak to heat. So if it's 200 degrees, then it will shrink. and in extreme temperatures, it cannot be used that much.
그래서 오늘 이제 주제가
So today we are talking about
퍼지 쪽에서 사용되는
composite materials, and
분야가
we should look at in what areas these fibers are being used. Mostly they are used in the automobile industry,
비행기라든지
for aircraft, spacecraft,
기차 보시면 또
and also for trains. You can see that the main body is not made of organics. It's mostly made of carbon fiber, but also organic fiber is being used. And
체 특성을 많이 요하는 분야로는
there are many industries, for instance,
안전 로프,
safety ropes and looping materials. When you look at the dome stadiums, in the ceiling,
어떤 철같이 보이는데 되게
it looks like metal, but it's actually PTFE. It's a fiber which is placed in the ceiling of the stadium. So that's called a looping material.
그래서 저희 사실 몇 년 전에
So a couple of years ago, we've conducted a study of para-aramide and carbon fiber and glass fiber. And we created a panel of these composite material, and we did a shock testing.
를 만들어서도 충격 강도가 좋을까?
And we tested whether it is
파라라미드
durable. And in the
보강된 복합
middle, you can see for para-aramide fiber, and the total energy was 23.92, much higher than carbon fiber and also better than the glass fiber. So we could see that the para-aramide is shock resistant, and it can be used for the bulletproof products. Because for bulletproof items, it's better to use carbon fiber. However, if it's not shock resistant, then it's better to use para-aramide fiber for the bulletproof items, for the back of the bulletproof items. So the para-aramide is widely used for those purposes, and DuPont has the patent for that. DuPont actually is monopolizing that, is a dominant player in that market, and we are not able to release any of those products because of that. And this would be the market trends for the high-performance organic fibers market. This market itself includes the glass and carbon fiber, and in 2020 the size was about 1.6 billion globally, and then it will become 2.5 billion market in 2025. So in this market, mostly it will be glass or carbon fiber. However, about 13%, which you can see here is the orange color, that will be aramid fiber, because about a decade ago it was just about 10 to 11%, but the portion is increasing. So aramide is taking up more. So it's not like it's a dramatic increase. However, it is increasing. The aramide fiber or the PPS fiber, these organic fiber market portion is growing. And these are the areas that we can apply organic fibers. So when we look at the relevant fields, we can see that it's mostly aerospace and defense. Of course, it is a special industry where a lot of these fibers are used, but then there's also the electro and automobile industry. So also housing, also for the electronic parts of the cars, these fibers are being used to reinforce the parts. And as time goes by until 2020, when we look at the growth rate, we can see that for aerospace and defense, of course, that market is growing, but for electronics and other industries, the use is being more widely used across all industries. So many more industries will be using the organic fibers. And when we look at by country, Korea is also included. It's not that we have a big portion. However, globally, we do have a significant portion there.
중국의
Of course, China takes up the greatest
를 구하기 많이 힘들죠.
piece of the pie,
많이
but also Korea is growing. Actually, we're having problems in terms of import, like polyamide for the cheap fibers. We used to import a lot of cheap fibers. However, because of all this chaos with cargo these days, now companies that were importing those fibers are having a lot of difficulties getting it from China. So if we would be increasing the production level of our own industry, then maybe we won't be having those problems in the future. And in the US also, the production of the organic fiber is also huge. And for Japan, the portion is not so big. However, for special fibers, they are the dominant player in that market.
보시면은
And as you can see here,
우리나라 2015년 쪽 자료가 오래됐는데요.
this is actually an old data from 2015, and we can see the demand of the fiber, which is
지금 진행을 하고 있고
130,000
일본입니다.
ton, and mostly we get it from Japan. In US, paramide is mostly
이런 경향을 받는
used, and when we look at this market trend, then
그런 일본이
we can see that Japan, looking at the overall market, they don't have a significant level of production. However, they are a very important player in this market.
앞에서도 보셨듯이 우리나라가
As you've seen earlier, we don't have a big portion. However, to be frank,
됐다라는 고성능 위섬유 소재를 보면
when we look at the products that use organic fiber, it's just aramide and PPS. Especially for PPS,
어떤 제품이 나오지 않았어요.
we don't have any products that are made of filament.
탄소 섬유도
And there are also some products that use carbon fiber that are being produced. And when we look at the R&D trends, it looks very interesting because
과학이라든지
for computer science, material science, and engineering, and mathematics,
에서 많이 연구가 진행이 되더라고요.
a lot of researches are being done from those fields.
연구를 하는 게 아니라
They don't just conduct studies about one field. For instance, if it's computer science and material science, they do the research together.
그러면은 이제 키워드별로 검색을 하더라도
So this is also the key phrase analysis. And the reason is because
우리가 보통 복합재료를 만든다 하면
normally if we say that we're making composite materials, then we also
여러 가지 조건에
have to consider a lot of conditions. And
만들
according to those conditions,
간편하게 R&D를 하고 싶다.
if we want to do the R&D simply, then maybe we get some help from the AI side. So there is mutual cooperation across industries, across areas.
응용 분야에 가서
And then when we look at the fields where these materials are being applied, there's resins for yarn spinning and also fibrid in a type of pulp. So with these raw materials, we get the fabrics, we do the spinning.
중간재를 만들어서
So we create the intermediate textiles or fabrics. So how do we do that? Depending on the design and how we do this,
특성들이 많이 다르기 때문에
the characteristics can become significantly different. So we need to be creative, we need to be able to do the design.
최근에 유통의 홈페이지 가면
And when you go to the webpage of DuPont, you can see that electric batteries, actually this is an important area. And in 2019, they launched a battery membrane.
필름에다가
So they do the ceramic coating on the battery.
굉장히 약해서
And it was weak. It wasn't flame resistant or heat resistant,
퍼포먼스를 내는
but
소재를 만들 수 있었다.
they were able to create Kevlar, which has no shrinkage and which is a much more improved product.
이건 저희 연구원에서
And this is a project that we've done at our institution with aramide.
수지 열평화소 수지하고 복합을 시킨 다음에 기어로 만들었습니다.
We have created the gear, the automobile gear.
금속 기어 대비해서
So compared to the metal gear, when we run this,
소음이 감쇄가 된다.
we could see that the sound was reduced, the noise was reduced, and compared to the metal gear, the collision was also less. And it was launched at the Tech Day of Hyundai Motor Group, and we also received an award for that. And recently, we also applied patent for this one, which is using the LCP fiber to create a panel. And we did the measurement, and we could see that
복합재고 대비해서 유전 특성이 굉장히 안정적으로
it was a very stable product, which means that
파수가
the frequency is, because as higher the frequency gets, then
실률이 커지기 때문에
the loss rate could be greater. So it's important that we have a stable dielectric property, and
사용을 하기도 하고
we use several types of non-halogen resin and other types of resin. But when we use LCP, and even if we use the average epoxy, that we could still get the low and stable dielectric property. And that was a project that we've conducted. So we've applied patent for that one. And other than that, we also apply this for the construction industry to reinforce the materials. We use the aramide or LCP. And for aramide, we can't see that because it's not good in terms of alkaline, so we cannot use it for seashores, because it's highly moist and it's more alkaline. And that's why we use the LCP fiber for those areas. And we also use the reinforced resin as well. And other than that, we do a lot of, with the help of the government, we develop technologies regarding the high-performance fibers. And we have 3 types of projects, which is to have high tenacity fiber, high modulus, and chemical resistance fiber.
저희 프로젝트에서 지금 참여하고 있는
These are the companies that are joining in our project. And
아까 제가 공중화 파라아라미드
I've also talked about the para-aramide that we are working with another agency. And in our case,
공중화 아라미드 섬유가 뽑아지면
if we get the copolymerized aparamide fiber, then we will
만들어서
have to create a material, a medium material, in order to reinforce it. And other than that, for the parts and material, for fiber and materials, we also do PTFE fiber, PBO, PI fiber, PVDF fiber. We believe that these fibers are important for future industries, and we need to have the source technologies for these fibers to prepare for the future. And in terms of weaving or fabrication technology, the 3D fabric technologies are being researched globally. However, in our case, we have the foundation, we have the technologies, but there are many people who are not aware of this 3D fabric. So we need to do a lot of research about this field. And then next is the electrospun nanofiber. But for thermoplastic resin, because it doesn't melt, so we need to create nanofiber. We need to have that kind of a process. And right now, we could realize about 600 nano with the PP fiber. However, below 600, we won't be able to have a even fiber. We don't have that kind of an expertise yet. And this is, since we've been having composite materials, it's about the interaction of fiber and resin. What kind of a process do we have to adopt? What kind of a impact we have to do? So there should be a lot of research that should be made, and many researches are being made right now, but it's hard to say right now what is needed, what process is the right one. So if you are in this field, please do think about this. It was a long presentation, and thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. John, for the presentation. It was a long presentation. And before in JEC Asia, when I participated in the JEC Asia seminar, I think your presentation was very expensive to the extent that whether is it okay for you. Okay, now we'll have the third presentation. Let's invite the CEO of R&F Chemical, Mr. Dong Il-bak, who is responsible for the second detailed project on biodegradable PET PP type textile material and application project development, which has been launched in 2021.
저희는 사실은 처음부터 이제 발표가 통역이 필요한 줄 알고 통역을 좀 준비를 했었습니다. 그리고 장표가 조금 좀 많습니다. 그래서 제가 하는 거는 앞에 부분은 제가 좀 넘어가고 필요한 부분만 통역을 하고 그다음에 앞에 두 분은 R&D 쪽 위주인데 저희는 상업화 위주로 조금 좀 설명을 드리고 제가 조금 빠른 속도로 하겠습니다. 저희 회사는 이렇게 얘기합니다. 사람들의 건강과 지구 환경을 생각하는 기업 R&F 케미컬입니다.
So R&F is the company that cares about the human health and global situations.
저는 그 고분자 공학을 전공했고 LG화학에서 근무하였고 지금은 R&F 케미컬 대표입니다.
So this is our CEO. His name is Peter Park, and he's been working in the LG Chem for 20 years, and currently he's CEO of R&F Chemical. And my name is Kevin Park, and I'm a senior researcher in R&F Chemical.
오늘 말씀 중에서 두 가지입니다. 섬유에 바이러스를 죽일 수 있느냐, 섬유가 생분해 되느냐 두 가지 기술입니다.
So the main technology that we would like to introduce for today's seminar is antiviral fiber and biodegradable PP fiber.
여기는 제가 할 텐데 어쨌든 지금은 바이러스 시대입니다. 백신을 맞지만은 사람들의 건강은 굉장히 좀 수준이 좀 낮아지고 있거든요. 전 세계 많은 유럽 국가들이 백신을 70%씩 맞고 있지만은 마스크를 써야 되고 나라별로 새로운 방역 체계를 준비하고 있는 것 같습니다.
So we are living in the COVID pandemic situation.
전 세계 어느 나라도 코로나 바이러스에 벗어날 수가 없기 때문에 지금은 마스크를 쓰고 또 새롭게 일회용을 쓰면서 나는 코로나를 막아야겠다 이렇게 하면서 많은 플라스틱이 발생되고 있습니다.
So since we are using a lot of disposable materials to fight against the COVID-19, such as PPE or masks, there's a lot of plastic or fiber waste we can look around.
코로나 시대에 저희 같은 회사가 무엇을 해야 되는지 한번 생각을 해봤는데요. 어쨌든 아시는 것처럼 백신은 맞지만은 효과가 많이 부족하기 때문에 우리가 입는 옷에 코로나 바이러스를 사멸할 수 있는 기술. 두 번째, 우리가 일회용을 어쩔 수 없이 써야 되지만 이것들이 단순한 일회용이 아니고 생분해 된다면 얼마나 좋을까?
So since we are living in the twin-demic situation, which is COVID pandemic and the plastic pandemic combinations, we would like to introduce our technology that can fight against the COVID-19 through our antiviral technology, and we would like to introduce the biodegradable PP fiber that can easily support the environment.
저희 회사는 폴리머하고 바이오를 전공해서요. 이런 복합 기술을 다양한 어플리케이션 제품으로 개발하는 회사고 빅데이터를 가지고 기술과 고객을 연결하는 플랫폼 회사입니다.
So our company is composed of the polymer scientists and molecular biologists, and we have our own compounding technology and application development, and we can connect to the customers through our data platform.
지금부터 조금 좀 생소한데 백신하고 매직 커프 파이버가 뭐지? 제가 설명을 드리겠습니다.
We would like to introduce about the vaccine and the magic copper fiber.
이 장표에서는 제가 조금 설명을 자세히 드리면은 아시겠지만 바이러스는 죄송합니다. 우리가 입을 통한 직접적인 감염, 내 손을 통한 간접적인 감염이 있는데요. 백신은 내 몸 안에 들어가는 이 그 블로킹을 해주기 위해서 백신을 맞는 거고 혹여나 내가 입는 옷, 외부에 바이러스가 들어가는 것을 사멸할 수 있다면은 이거는 다시 새로운 기술이거든요. 저희가 그래서 백신과 매직카퍼 기술을 병합하는 그런 기술을 소개하려고 하는 겁니다.
So we would like to briefly explain about the transmission route of the COVID-19. So there's actually direct transmission and there's indirect formaldehyde transmission. And we would like to thought about what if we make a combination of the vaccine technology and our antiviral technology, so we can make the inner protection and outer protection at the same time.
그 많은 섬유가 있지만은 여기 보시처럼 우리 병원의 의사들, 환자들이 입는 이 방역복 벗지를 못하거든요. 그 이유가 바이러스에 오염되면은 버려야 되기 때문에 그렇습니다. 그래서 저희가 갖고 있는 기술은 코로나 바이러스가 여기에 묻었을 때 인액티베이션 시키고 노 크로스 인펙션을 시키는 바이러스 킬링 테크놀로지입니다.
So as an example, if we apply our technology to the PPE, we can just make the antiviral PPE. So when the COVID-19 virus particle contacts to the PPE, it can be inactivated within a short time.
우리가 세 가지 코로나 바이러스, 델타 바이러스까지 죽일 수 있는 세 가지 기술이 있습니다.
So we have 3 technologies.
자세하게 설명드리긴 조금은 좀 어려운데 스페셜로 카파를 처리된 이 카파를 가지고 플라스틱과 컴파운딩 했을 때 이 제품을 우리가 카파 컴파운드 제품이라고 합니다. 이런 기술이 하나가 있고요.
So the first technology that we would like to introduce is the copper compounding technology, that we use our special treated coppers for compounding and make a plastic type of the products.
두 번째 카파 케미컬 리액션이라고 하는데 나노 사이즈의 구리를 섬유에다가 완전 크로스 링킹 시켜서 구리가 바이러스를 잡게 하는 원리입니다.
So another technology we have is the copper chemical reaction. So we can make the chemical bonding in the magic copper textile, which is our product, and apply this technology to the cotton fabrics and textiles.
세 번째는 단섬유 50에서 70정의 단섬유를 여기에 구리를 처방해서 다른 화학섬유든 천연섬유에 라미네이션해서 코로나 바이러스를 사멸하는 기술입니다.
So the third technology, copper staple fiber, is complex lamination technology that we use tiny staple fiber for the fabric.
정말 이거에 대해서 바이러스에 대한 확인이 됐느냐 했을 때 저희는 저희 나라의 서울대학교, 미국의 MRI 글로벌, 이태리의 비스메데리, 일본의 나라대학교에서 코로나 바이러스, 델타 바이러스, H1N1 데이터 실험을 하였습니다.
So we've been collaborating with a lot of institutes. So we collaborated with Seoul National University, MRI Global, Bismatter Research, and Nara Medical University in Korea, US, Italy, Japan, respectively.
아시겠지만은 코로나 바이러스 실험은 쉽게 허용이 되지 않고 국가적으로 한 번 할 때마다 저희 한국 돈으로 3천만 원이 듭니다. 저희는 4개 나라, 4개 기관에 총 한 30번 정도 실험을 한 것 같습니다.
So the viral test is very expensive. So it costs about $30,000 US dollars per one test. So we tested our technology for about like 30 times.
그만큼 우리 섬유에 바이러스를 죽일 수 있다면 인간의 삶, 우리들의 삶은 조금 더 나아질 수 있지 않겠냐 하는 그런 생각에서 이런 일을 하게 되었습니다.
So we had a hope of exterminating the COVID-19 and make a better human life.
모든 제품을 다 설명드릴 수는 없지만은 카파 컴파운드 제품은 서울대학교의 수의학과에서 실험을 했고 카파 리액션 제품은 이태리의 비스메드리 연구소에서 델타 바이러스 사스2를 가지고 실험을 했고 카파 스테플 파이버는 일본의 나라대학에서 코비드 19 가지고 실험을 했는데 대부분의 제품이 약간의 차이는 있지만은 10분 또는 30분 또는 60분에 코로나 바이러스가 우리가 만든 섬유에 처리를 했을 때 사멸되는 것을 확인하였습니다.
So we tested our 3 technologies, which is copper compounding and copper chemical reaction and copper staple fiber, through Seoul National University, Bismatter Research, and Nara Medical University. The tested virus was influenza A virus, Delta variant of the COVID-19 and the COVID-19, and the test result was successful. So our products could kill over 99% of each of the virus within 10 through 60 minutes.
이 바이러스를 사멸하는 메커니즘이나 우리가 만드는 제품의 기술이 어떨 건가 굉장히 복잡하고 사실은 우리가 장표를 한 100장 정도 만들어야 되지만 오늘 한 15분에 동시 통역을 하기 때문에 제가 이렇게 요약한 거를 양해드리고 이 부분은 다음에 얼마든지 저희를 만나면은 설명드릴 수가 있습니다.
Since I'm translating what he's talking about, and we don't have enough time to fully explain about all the mechanism and information about this test and method. So if you visit our office later or contact us later, then we can help you out to answer.
아까 처음에 말씀드린 것지만 단순한 연구가 아니고 어떻게 이것을 상업화를 해볼까 했을 때 첫 번째 카퍼 컴파운드 제품 가지고 여기 보시지만은 미국에 나가는 제품인데요. 옷을 이렇게 만들었습니다. 더블 프로텍션. 우리가 입는 옷에 외투에 항바이러스 기능을 준 거. 우리가 입는 마스크, 우리가 쓰는 마스크에 저런 기능. 많은 사람이 이용하는 어떤 그 차의 핸들에 이런 안티바이러스 기술을 접목한 겁니다.
So based on our technology, we commercialize our technology through. So this is like an example that you can see as one of the technology we use. So we made jackets, mask, steering wheel cover, and so on.
제가 그 중에서 조금 더 죄송하지만 조금 더 상세하게 설명드리면 우리가 모든 분들이 쓰는 덴탈 K 패션 마스크를 가지고 서울대에서 균이 얼만큼 번식하는지 그 다음에 바이러스가 얼만큼 통과될 수 있는지 실험을 저희 기준으로 한번 해봤을 때 보시는 것처럼 패션이나 K 덴탈 마스크는 6시간 썼을 때 이 균들이 많이 증식됩니다. 그 이유는 내침이 썼기 때문에 그렇습니다. 그리고 왜 K사 마스크가 더 심하지? 그 이유는 분명합니다. 덴탈은 시원시원하고 공기가 통과 잘 되기 때문에 상대적으로 저희가 적용한 항바이러스 마스크는 더블 레이어입니다. 바깥쪽에 필름에 더블 레이어, 안쪽에 섬유에 항균, 항바이러스. 그렇기 때문에 6시간 동안에 균이 생기지 않고 요즘 바이러스가 이렇게 확대되는데 바이러스가 마스크를 통과하느냐 안 되냐 이 굉장히 어떤 중요한 사실인데 저희가 코티에서 K사 마스크하고 저희 마스크를 동일한 조건에서 ISO 16604에 테스트를 했을 때 K사는 아쉽게도 바이러스가 통과됩니다. 섬유 속으로. 저희는 더블 레이어에 항바이러스 기능이 있기 때문에 바이러스가 통과되지 않는 것을 확인하였습니다.
So we tested. We had two tests for the masks. So we compared our mask with the other type of the masks. And for the bacterial test, after 6 hours of exposure to the bacteria, like our products didn't have any bacteria, but other type of the mask, it still had like bacterial colony. And for the virus penetration test, when we tested our mask, and while comparing other masks, our mask could protect. People from the virus or virus particles since it's double layered and the outside of the film is plastic.
두 번째 카파를 케미컬 리액션, 섬유하고 케미컬 리액션을 한 겁니다. 카파가 떨어지겠지? 절대 안 떨어집니다. 가교화를 시켰습니다. 이런 제품을 가지고 후드 집업 또는 커튼 이런 그 천들을 실제 저희가 만들어 봤습니다.
So based on our copper chemical reaction technology, we made a lot of applications such as hood zip-up, cotton, and home furnitures, and so on.
카파 스테플 단섬유를 가지고 단섬유의 구리가 역시 이렇게 붙어 있습니다. 바이러스가 붙었을 때 사멸될 수 있는 건데 우리 병원의 의사들 또는 마스크를 쓰는 분들 이런 것들을 제품을 만들었을 때 동일하게 바이러스 테스트했을 때 바이러스가 쉽게 사멸된다는 것을 확인하였습니다.
So based on our tiny copper staple fiber technology, we applied that technology to the filter type of the products and PP type and non-woven fabric type of the products, and it still has the antiviral efficacies.
지금부터는 그 두 번째 저희가 PP 파이버를 PP 패브릭을 바이오데그레이션 시킬 수 있느냐 이 기술에 대해서 설명드리겠습니다.
So the additional thing they would like to introduce is the biodegradable fiber.
말씀드린 것처럼 바이러스가 싫기 때문에 일회용을 많이 써야 됩니다. 일회용을 쓰면서 이 탄소 배출량이 많아지기 때문에 지구의 온도는 점점 높아가고 있습니다.
So the amount of the carbon was extremely and rapidly increased right after the COVID-19, since like there were a lot of disposable usage and waste happened.
우리가 쓰는 마스크 450년이 걸립니다. 그리고 코로나가 생기면서 일회용 제품이 13배 늘어났습니다.
So for the normal type of the products and disposable materials, it takes very long time for biodegradation. And after coronavirus, like the market size of these disposable products were rapidly increased.
바이오데그레이션 메커니즘을 다 설명하기는 어렵지만 어쨌든 플라스틱이 약해지고 분해되고 마지막에 물과 CO2로 없어지는 메커니즘입니다.
It is hard to explain all the mechanism of the fiber biodegradation, but it actually goes like deterioration, fragmentation, and assimilation.
우리가 알고 있는 현재까지 나오는 바이오 플라스틱은 PLA, PBS, PBAT가 있지만은 각각의 사용에 제한들이 있습니다만 저희는 감자, 포테이토를 이용해서 서모폴리 플라스틱 스타치를 만들었습니다. 기술은 뒤에서 설명드리겠습니다.
So for the normal biodegradable fibers, they actually requires a lot of not a lot, but very specific conditions such as high temperature for the PLA and no biodegradation in marine condition for PBS, and oil base is required for the PBAT. However, our products is very different from those products, and we would like to introduce the technology.
많은 분들이 P나 PP 플라스틱을 TPS가 생분해시킬 수 있을까 많이 물어보고 저희도 아직까지 연구를 하고 있는데 제가 이 메커니즘을 간단하게 한번 설명해 보겠습니다.
So a lot of people are asking us if the TPS can be biodegradable, and we are also researching for that, and we are going to give you the answer for that question.
우리가 감자나 카사바 같은 걸 보면은 비결정성의 아밀로즈, 결정성의 아밀로펩틴으로 되어 있습니다.
So there's actually amylose for the non-crystallinity and amylopectin that has the crystallinity form.
이런 제품에 열을 주고 가수화를 시키면은 당면을 국수나 딱딱한 당면 이런 걸 생각하시면 됩니다. 그렇게 만들어집니다.
So when we make this to the products, it's gonna be like stiff and it's gonna be like very easily breakable.
저희가 만드는 기술은 스타치에 크리스탈리니티를 100% 없앱니다. 전부 아모포스하게 만들고 프리볼륨을 자유롭게 만들면서 뒤에 설명드리겠지만은 TPS 사이즈가 미생물이 먹을 수 있는 나노 사이즈로 만드는 게 핵심 기술입니다.
So the technology we have is just breaking the crystallinity and make it very amorphous and make it to be a nano size so microbes can digest.
이런 TPS는 몇 가지의 단계를 거칩니다. PP 저희가 PP로 섬유를 만들 수 있습니다. PP에다가 가수화를 시키고 이 가수화 시킨 다음에 임모빌라이저 완전 고정화시키는 별도의 임모비저를 넣고 저희가 직접 설계한 트윈스크류 콤비네이션 글라프팅 기술 적절한 온도와 압력을 줬을 때 우리가 만드는 PP를 생분해시키는 TPS를 만들 수가 있습니다.
So we blend the PP and TPS and add the plasticizer and immobilizer, and we go through the process 3 steps: twin screw combination, grafting, and optimization.
정말 생분해 될까 했을 때 기존의 TPS는 어떤 플라스틱하고 섞었을 때 저런 큼직한 사이즈로 나옵니다. 그래서 마지막은 TPS만 분해되고 나머지 페트나 P나 PP는 분해되지 않습니다. 그래서 이 제품들은 생분해가 아니고 생붕괴라고 얘기를 합니다.
So when we mix the normal PP and TPS and make the compound and test it, it's only the TPS is biodegrading, but the PP is still exists as a microplastic, and it's not mixing well like oil and water.
저희가 현미경을 자세하게 찍어봤을 때 파란색이 PP고 빨간색이 TPS입니다. 이렇게 생각하시면 됩니다. 물과 기름이라고 보시면 되는데 여기는 물과 기름이 잘 안 섞여 있습니다. 그래서 우리가 디스인터그레이션이라고 얘기를 합니다.
So as you can see the left side picture, it's like it's not mixed well like oil and water, and is disintegrated.
조금 전에 설명한 기술로 우리가 만들면은 PP와 TPS가 나노 사이즈로 이렇게 분산이 되어 있습니다. 현미경을 찍으면은 물과 기름이 아주 골고루 섞여 있습니다. 그래서 나노 레벨의 디스트리뷰션이 되기 때문에 바이오데그레이션이 될 수 있습니다.
So since our own PP TPS compound is nano sized and is mixed well and uniformly shaped and organized, there's no disintegration, so it can make biotic reaction.
미생물은 나노 사이즈가 되면 구분하지 않고 어떤 것들이 먹습니다. 어떤 것들이든 먹습니다.
Yeah, for the nano size, microbes can digest.
증거가 있냐? 있습니다. 두 가지에서 했고요. 미국의 이든랩에서 PP와 TPS를 75대 25 했을 때 6개월이 아닙니다. 약 370일에 90% 이상, 97%가 생분해 된 것을 확인했습니다.
So when we mixed our 25% of of our TPS and 75% of PP and tested it. It takes about 1 year and 97 biodegradation we can verify.
두 번째 ASTM 6866으로 해서 PE하고 TPS를 80대 20을 넣었을 때 올드 카본과 뉴 카본을 측정해서 생분해 전과 생분해 후에 탄소 함량을 측정했을 때 유사한 비율로 사라지는 걸 봐서 카본도 생분해 된다는 것을 확인할 수가 있었습니다.
So when we mix 80% of the LDP and 20% of our TPS, about same proportion of each of the materials were biodegraded at the same time.
여러 가지 실험을 해봤을 때 우리가 보통 알고 있는 PLA, PBAT가 6개월에 특정 조건에서 생분해되는 그런 것은 아닙니다. 굉장히 기간이 깁니다. 1년 또는 오랜 기간.
The biodegradation actually requires a lot of very long time. It cannot be all the bioplastic materials cannot be biodegraded within 6 months.
제가 거의 마지막 장편인데 무슨 얘기를 하려고 하냐면은 많은 과학자들이 생분해성 소재를 만듭니다. 우리가 알고 있는 PLA, PBAT 특정한 조건에서 6개월에 생분해가 되고 어떤 마린 조건이라 되지가 않습니다. 지금 아시는 것처럼 우리가 땅 속에 있는 땅 위에 있는 플라스틱은 태우거나 수거를 하면 해결되는데 바다에 있는 플라스틱을 우리가 해결할 수 있냐 이거죠. 보시면은 지금 1950년부터 플라스틱이 늘어나면서 바다의 플라스틱이 점점점 늘어나고 있습니다. 아마도 이런 추세라면 2050년도 가면은 바다의 절반은 플라스틱으로 쌓일 겁니다. 우리가 얘기하는 거는 6개월이 아니라 1년이나 또는 5년 정도 됐을 때 바다의 쓰레기를, 바다에 몇십 년 동안 쌓이는 쓰레기를 줄일 수 있는 새로운 솔루션이 될 수 있지 않겠나 저희의 생각입니다.
So for the PLA, PBAT, they are actually taking 6 months for the biodegradation, but it requires a very specific condition for the biodegradation. And PP and PE, it takes very long time for biodegradation. What we suggest is if we apply our technology, we can support to reduce the plastic in the marine condition.
여기 있는 분들 포함해서 많은 분들이 야, 생분해는 6개월이 돼야 돼. 굉장히 얘기를 많이 합니다. 이 그림을 보고도 그런 얘기를 계속 할 수 있냐 이거죠. 저희는 6개월이 중요한 게 아니고 바다에서 쓰레기가 쌓여갈 때 1년이 아니고 5년, 10년 이내 생분이 된다면 새로운 기술이 될 수 있지 않느냐 그런 생각입니다.
So a lot of people are actually focusing on 6 months for biodegradation phase. However, if we are saying that 1 through 5 years, it probably is going to be enough for the accelerate the biodegradation.
지금 바이러스 팬데믹, 플라스틱 팬데믹입니다. 새로운 기술들이 계속해서 발전해야 되는데 저희 같은 작은 회사에서 새롭게 발견한 이 기술을 가지고 많은 분들과 쉐어해서 이 코로나 바이러스의 국민들의 삶, 사람들의 이 삶을 조금 더 개선이 되었으면 하는 바람입니다. 이상입니다.
So we are facing twin endemic situation right now, which is a combination of virus pandemic and plastic pandemic. And with our technologies for this pandemic situation, we would like to collaborate with big companies and anyone who is interested in it.
한 번 더 말씀드리면 메커니즘이나 테크놀로지에 대해서 굉장히 궁금하실 것 같은데요. 통역까지 써서 이 많은 기술을 설명하기엔 너무나 저희가 설명을 잘 못한 것 같아서 죄송한데 다음 기회에 있으면은 저희가 별도로 미팅을 해서 한번 상담을 했으면 좋겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Since we had a lot of information to summarize and introduce through a short time, like we couldn't explain well, but if you can contact us later, and then we can actually answer the questions.
네. 이렇게 총 3개의
So we've had
주제를 중심으로
3
해서
presentations,
저희 소재 부품 기술 개발 과제의 현황을 들어봤습니다.
and we learned about the trend
마지막
of
발표하신
the
우리
composite material development. Mr. Park, the last presenter, I think the presentation was a bit different than the previous two because he is from SME. So the subjects, the team may not be concretely closely related, but please understand. Now we have other sessions coming up, And we'll have only one question, I think. We will only have time for only one question. And if you have any questions, please raise your hand. And if you could tell me your name and your title, then that would be great.
막상 이런 거를 저희가 이제 여러 차례 해봐도 요새는
But,
질문보다는
it seems that
세미나가 종료한 다음에 개별적으로
people have more tendency to contact the presenters afterwards through email so that they could continue the correspondence. And I too have a lot of questions, but because of time restraint, I will end today's composite exchange here.
한국섬유산업연합회가 마련한
So COFOT is hosting this composite exchange on development of high-performance PET organic fibers and biodegradable technologies. Thank you for coming, and we'll end the session here. Thank you.